Are the prices bouncing back up for Toronto real estate market and this was the bottom or not? Because if you have been watching the sales and the numbers closely, like I have, September gave us the first real hint and signal that this market might be turning the corner. Welcome back everybody. Today we are digging into the Toronto real estate market with a focus on the most recent sales data in September 2025. And trust me, the story these numbers are telling is fascinating. For the past few months, people have been asking the same question: is this the bottom or not? Prices have been sliding since 2022, to be exact, since March 2022, and buyers sat on the sidelines. Sellers got frustrated in this market. But what about now? As we are seeing the numbers, now the numbers basically are showing something different. Sales are rising, prices are starting to take back up month over month. And if you compare August to September, you will see a very interesting pattern. So in this episode, we are going to unpack exactly what's happening in the market and why I think we might be forming a bottom and what economic data is telling us about where we could go next. Before talking about the most recent numbers that came out of Toronto Real Estate Board about the September sales data, I'm gonna rewind for a second and start with August. In August 2025, TRREB reported 5,211 home sales across the GTA, and that was a modest 2.3% increase compared to last year. It wasn't a boom, but a steady sign of life coming back to the market. The average price came in at $1,022,000. That was down 5.2% year over year, but flat compared to July. In other words, prices stopped falling on a month-to-month basis. So think of August as the pause. Buyers were active, sales were slightly better than last year, but prices were holding steady. No more big drops and no bounces yet either. Now fast forward to September. This is where things get interesting. Sales jumped to almost 5,600 sales. That was an 8.5% increase compared to last year and more than 7% higher than August, a month before. So the average selling price hit $1,060,000, or to be exact, $1,059,000. And yes, that's still down compared to last year, about 4.7%. But here's the key: compared to August, prices actually went up 3.6%. And the MLS Home Price Index, or we call it HPI, which is a cleaner measure of value, rose 0.5% month over month. That's the first time we have seen upward momentum in a while. So when you look at the trend, flat prices in August, rising prices in September, you start to see the outline of a bottom. Now some of you might say, but prices are still down compared to last year, and that's true. But in real estate, bottoms don't form overnight. They form in stages. First, sales activity comes back up, then the prices stop falling, and then slowly prices start to rise again. And that's exactly the sequence we are seeing right now. Let's talk about the buyers for a second. Buyers are active again because mortgage rates, while still high historically, are lower than the painful peaks of 2023 because inflation is under control, or as it's supposed to be under control. And because the Bank of Canada has already cut rates this year with the potential for more cuts to come, that made the buyers more confident to come back to the market. Here's another piece of the puzzle. What type of homes are actually selling? The reports show a clear trend. More affordable properties are leading the way. Condos and townhouses saw the biggest sales increase in the past September. Detached homes, especially in the 416, are still moving, but buyers are concentrated in the lower price brackets. This skews the average price lower, which is why the year-over-year numbers still look weak. But underneath that, the actual value trend is shifting upward. Think about it. If more people are buying $700,000 to $900,000 condos and semis instead of $4.6 million detached homes, the average price will naturally look softer, even if demand is strong and the sales are higher. Now let's zoom out. The Canadian economy slowed in Q2. GDP contracted by 1.6%, but here's the silver lining. Inflation is under control and running at just about under 2% year over year. That's below the Bank of Canada's target, or at least that's how it seems like it. Employment in Toronto is growing at 1.3% year over year, even though the unemployment rate is still high at close to 9%. So the macro environment is telling us things are stabilizing, borrowing costs are a little easier, incomes are rising modestly, and inflation isn't eating away at affordability. The combination is exactly what you would expect at the market turning point. So let's put all this together. Sales up year over year in both August and September, prices flat in August and up in September. HPI showing first month over month month increase in a while and economic backdrop improving. So we have lower rates, lower inflation, modest job growth, and buyers also focusing on affordability, fueling the lower end of the market like condos, semis, and townhouses. All of this points to one conclusion, in my opinion. The bottom looks like to be forming. Again, we may need more information, let's say 3-4 months more data to be able to confirm that. But from the early signals that we are getting, it seems to be likely. We may look back at August and September 2025 as the moment the market found its floor. So now let's build the bull case. What happens next if this really is the bottom? First, buyers who were waiting for prices to fall further may start to jump back in the market once they see momentum turning. Nobody wants to miss the bottom, of course. Second is that if the Bank of Canada delivers another rate cut, and some economists expect it, as far as I know and I see and I read in the news, the mortgage affordability will also improve again. That will fuel the demand that's coming to the market. And the third is the population growth isn't slowing. Toronto continues to attract people, and with limited housing supply, demand pressure will keep building up. So when you stack it all up, the ingredients for a rebound are there. It's not a crazy boom, but in my opinion, it could be a steady grind upward. So has Toronto real estate hit the bottom or not? From where I'm standing, it looks like we are almost there or very close to it. Prices have stopped falling, sales are gaining momentum, and September gave us the first signs of an upward tick. Yes, affordability is still stretched. Yes, challenges remain. But if you compare August to September, the trend is clear. The market is showing strength again. So if you are a buyer, this may be your chance to negotiate in a calmer market before competition heats up again. And if you're a seller, it means you may not have to wait much longer to see the prices inch upward. So the bottom line is Toronto real estate looks like it's finding its footing, and when this market stabilizes, history tells us that doesn't stay quiet for a long time. So let us know what you think and leave us a comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to our channel and like the video to support us to create more content, more educational content like this for you. And also, if you'd like to book a consultation meeting with me or my team, use the link down in the description.